Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul over here and Felipe.
Hello there, everyone.
And
Each
today,
video is a different name.
I'll just call you James. What about that?
Okay, then.
Today we are reacting to how The Lion King has
People
captivated
won't know
Broadway.
why you're calling me James, though.
I'll let them
It's
guess.
because it's my second name.
Well, don't let them guess then. Okay, so today we are reacting to Vanity Fair talking about how The Lion King has captivated Broadway for 25 years. Remember, we were talking about how long this has been ongoing? 25 years. Guys, we reacted to The Lion King musical, and you can watch that as a member. So become a member and you can watch it here. Member tier 2, it's available for members only. It's a 2-hour video, so you guys are gonna have a lot of fun with us. And let's go straight to this. This is a piece. You call it a piece, right? A Vanity Fair piece, I would suppose. A segment. Let's go, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
The cheetah are attached to Shakira's legs.
Shout out to Virginie for requesting this video.
Then she controls the front of the cheetah with her arms. So there's a synchronicity where they share the space and they share the movement. It's very magical.
Wow.
It comes from underneath. I didn't notice that.
My name is Linda White, and I'm the puppet supervisor at Lion King on Broadway. There's over 200 puppets that are in the show. It's a lot of puppets. Back in 1996, 1997, Julie Taymor started with her drawings. And from there, the drawings were made into little maquettes. And then from there, they were sculpted in clay, and molds were made. Carbon fiber casts came out of the molds. And those were the first set of puppets and masks. She wanted to kind of break the mold and do what she called the double event, which is where you see the actor's face, the performer's face, and the puppet at the same time. Starting with that premise, the basic instructions that we give our actors, especially if they've never worked in puppets before, is that it's a puppet and it's not gonna feel like their favorite pair of sneakers. It's a long process to get the puppet properly fitted. It's gonna take time to get used to it, and it's a process of making adjustments so that the actor feels safe and comfortable. Beyond that, it's about accepting the puppet and accepting that as a tool that you're working with on stage, and that you project your energy as an actor through the puppet. It can amplify your acting.
Oh, we have some ads going here. Guys, if you want to become a member, you can also help Philip afford some YouTube Premium.
So many different materials and techniques in all of these. We use yak hair, horse hair. The prongs on Mufasa's mask are made with burnt peacock feathers that are derided and then bleached and sewn into those prongs. Each of the sticks are all hand carved. You can see sort of the iconography of the show, which is the circle. So the sun is the circle of life. Specifically, the Simba and the Mufasa mask are both concentric circles. The only one that breaks
Scar
that mold
actually
is
has the Scar.
And Scar is our antagonist. His mask is completely asymmetrical, almost cubist in its design. His hair is made from turkey feathers that go through a process of being glued down with cheesecloth and then trimmed into these shapes and painted. He just, in general, has a much more antagonistic energy to his design.
And how does it move?
The lionesses, they look
his
like
head moves.
I hope they explain it.
Yeah.
So Zoo
Operating,
is
okay.
probably one of the more complicated puppets to act with because he's got lots of moving parts. All of his feathers are hand cut and they're made out of parachute material. His
Parachute
mechanism is strings and pivot points. So he flaps his wings by strings that are attached up here, go through his body to a paddle underneath. When you push the paddle down, his wings flap, and then there's triggers and cables for his eyes, so you can throw some shade. His mouth, especially our principal, Cameron Howe, is really articulate in how he uses every aspect of the puppet to communicate emotions and feelings that the bird is having. to do all of that at once while he is singing and dancing and falling and throwing himself on the stage, it's pretty amazing. And it's also, I mean, it takes a lot of strength to do this. And everybody always asks, what's his neck made out of? And his neck is made out of a slinky. And there's a ripcord inside that stops it from extending any further than that. I'd like to introduce to you Shakira Wade. She is a dancer with our show and a specialty performer in the cheetah, which is one of the more challenging puppets to perform.
Amazing.
In.
Her
Being
head
a cheetah puppet,
moves
you have to be very connected to your
together
body,
with the
and you have to be
cheetah.
open to sharing your energy with the puppet. Puppet mostly moves from the core of the performer. You have to have a very strong core, and you have to be strong and light and delicate. And with delicate movements, like the tilting of the head, Shakira can really express the emotion of the puppet. The curiosity, the wonder, the wildness of the puppet.
That's
the way that
wow.
Julie Taymor and
Wow.
Michael Curry designed the puppets, they didn't try to hide the mechanisms or disguise how they work. Your mind just takes you there immediately, and it makes it more magical. While you simultaneously can see how it works, your spirit just wants to believe and be immersed in the magic.
My
That
name is
is
Stacey
amazing.
Stevens. I am the Associate Costume Designer and Production Wardrobe Supervisor for The Lion King on Broadway, the US and international tours. In the show, there's about 1,500 to 2,000 pieces that cross the stage every night. We go through about 300 different costume changes. Backstage at The Lion King, from a wardrobe aspect, is a busy endeavor. Starting at hour before half, my crew of 17 dressers and 2 assistants come in, preset puppets in the front of house, rhinos and birds and giraffes get set backstage. Costumes are checked, laundry is done every day and distributed. My team works very diligently to keep the costumes in the best shape they can be for the 8 performances each week. We have a staff of 2 full-time stitchers, beaters, maintenance people that come in during the week and during the day to maintain the costumes. We work with 5 different companies that build our costumes. They are all handmade.
Wow.
They are all individually made for each actor. The process is
Wow.
somewhere between 6 and 8 weeks.
Do they remake them
for
for
each
each
costume.
new actor? I wonder. Rafiki.
So we're looking at the Rafiki costume. One thing you should note is in the original cartoon, Rafiki was played by a male actor. Julie felt very strongly about adding a strong female character, so Rafiki became female in the stage production. She's based on a Sangoma, which are South African healers, sort of doctors that are for the good. The Rafiki costume is heavy. It gives her a little gravitas or sort of earthiness to her performance because it grounds her to the stage. In her costume, it is represented on her tunic. The little tidbits and packages are as Sangomas would wear. They represent prayers and wishes that people have made. The fetish nails represent wealth. Her appropriately placed shell does represent her femininity. Her collar is based on African tribal collars worn by women in South Africa. I mean, she is supposed to be a baboon. So the figure is meant to be slightly truncated from the human figure. The shoes are custom designed for them. They are not a traditional shoe. It's almost like walking in a big, fluffy slipper. She also does
From
go
far,
up the
I
stairs
thought it
at
was
Pride
just the
Rock,
feet.
and she's up and down the rake of the stage. So her feet are something she needs to become very aware of and very used to. She has to learn how to manipulate the young Simba at the top of the show when she presents him with the bamboo extensions on her fingers. The whole design of the costume was to sort of forget that we're looking at a human figure. No 2 costumes are exactly alike because they are individually made for each actor. The coloration and the fabrication is as similar as we can to the original. The differences become when the costume shop can no longer find certain things. For one instance, these are small discs that are actually pressed from old records. Those no longer are available. So as they move forward, these red and yellow discs are going to have to be replaced. Depending on the character, we will have 6 to 8 different versions of the same thing depending on the understudy number. At this
It's a
point,
lot
I
of
think we
work.
have 6 Rafikis in the house.
My name is Domkhona Dlamini. I'm the original cast member of The Lion King. Since 2017, I've been back on Broadway. It's very empowering for me from South Africa to be able
Shout out to South
set
Africa.
that first note, to stand there and to play Rafiki. It's another level of presenting my culture to represent South Africa, period, for 25 years. It's a fun role to do.
The most intricate costume design would be that of Scar. From his chaps, which are leather, they are sewn, they are then carved into, basically. His corset is created to have a sort of bone-like structure
That is
made out of
awesome.
the bamboo, as well as the cage that stands behind his head. With that, we have to hide the mechanics that his mask work with. So those battery packs and
it's a
mechanicals are
battery
tucked into
pack.
his chaps. Scar's original fittings were somewhere in the hours of 50 or more.
My name is Antonia Giannino. I'm one of the stage managers on The Lion King. I have been working on The Lion King for 17 years. The Lion King it's a bit of a monster,
Very
especially from
experienced.
the perspective of being a stage manager. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of technical elements, a lot of moving elements, a lot of people. There are 5 stage managers that it takes to run the show. And then there's wardrobe and puppets, carpenters, electricians, props, orchestra, cast. It's a hardy crew that makes this show happen every night. I would say from pit to back wall, it's probably about 120 people. So as a stage manager, we just really do a walkthrough and we check that the props are in place. We check that the actors are all signed in at half hour. Our carpenters really take care of doing a whole preset and they check everything. They run the rock up and down. They bring in all the fly stuff up and down. Electricians go through their channel check, make sure all their lights are working, their focuses are correct. So everyone has their specific tasks that they have when they first come in, and then we just sort of oversee to make sure everything is ready for the show.
After a while, it becomes
The
automatic.
very first thing when the show opens,
Everybody knows
it's a
what to do.
very iconic look of the clouds and the sun going out, but our first big technical element that happens too is Pride Rock coming up out of the floor. So it's a little bit like starting an airplane, taking off. Once the rock has come up, I sort of feel like, okay, we're good to go. You can take off your seatbelts. So Auto 11, go.
Oh man.
More ads.
Bro, come on. And these are the
That's not my
non-skippable
fault.
ads.
We have someone who runs the automation for us. So it's literally someone pressing a button, but it's hydraulic. So it comes up out of the floor. It goes to about 12 feet high when it's in its highest
12
position all the
feet.
way up. It is still a computer. You know, your phone malfunctions, your computer malfunctions every once in a while. It doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. You also have to be aware of the actors who are on the stage, make sure they're in the right position because you don't want to open up the floor and have a hole in the floor. We've got people in the wings that are also doing the same thing for us, to have an extra set of eyes to make sure everything is safe and running smoothly. 25 years of The Lion King on Broadway is amazing. I grew up in a family that did theater. My dad was a stage manager. My mom was an actress. And there was a lot of shows that came and went and came and went and came and went. So to be a part of something that has this life and has been around this long is really amazing and is really a blessing.
What makes The Lion King special is everyone can relate to it. When I started this show in 2002 in Denver, one of the reviewers said something to the effect of, no matter how big and wonderful the magic was that Julie Taymor had created on the stage, her biggest feat was turning 1,500 adults
Wow.
into children as the animals came up the aisles and onto the stage.
The 25th anniversary of The Lion King resonates with me because
The
in
cheetah looking.
time that we live now where there's virtual reality and automation and CG and very simple storytelling with puppets of strings and just very simple mechanisms, it just has magic and still resonates with people. It still moves people to feel things 25 years later. This is our mythology now. Lion King is the mythology of puppets and masks in our culture. I'm very grateful to be part of that.
Wow.
Dude,
Man.
this is impressive.
It is.
The amount of work, the amount of dedication they put on on each piece, on each costume, on each performance. Dude,
Yeah.
shout out to all of the actors, all the professionals who are involved with this spectacular play. Dude, this is amazing, dude. Wow.
Indeed. And you know what's
It surprises me how like she said. I mean, there are plays that come and go and stuff like that, but the Lion King is still there.
Still there.
25 years. Wow.
Yeah, and you know the best part is that when we were watching the Lion King the musical, we were seeing from a distance, but now that we look closely, we see the details. We see that Scar actually has the scar, you know, and they're talking about using parachute material and all of these things that they
slinkies,
bro, and discs, like part of the disc material that are.
Did you notice that Zazu? It's not actually blue. He's white. I mean,
with some blue, right?
Yeah, there's barely any blue in here. But the actor wears blue. I don't know if you noticed, but the actor wears blue. I believe that they painted Zazu white because it was maybe it was kind of difficult to see him. Maybe because it was a relatively small puppet, and then a white color would stand out in a white color rather than a blue one. So that's my theory to why Zazu isn't blue.
Yeah, they even think of the relationship between colors. I would suppose. Yeah. Guys, that was a very nice, informative video. If you guys want to watch our reaction to the Lion King musical, the link will be in the description or the pinned comment. You have to become a member to watch that exclusive video. Thank you so much to Virginie for requesting the Lion King musical. I have seen it in person myself. Philip is yet to have that experience, but
yeah,
probably very soon. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so when you become a member, you can help, you know, him buy a ticket. Hopefully.
That'd be great.
And probably some YouTube Premium. I'm kidding, guys. Okay, but still, yeah, becoming a member does help us and does support us. So consider doing that. Also, if you want to request a special video, then link is in the description or the pinned comment. You can just request a video and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Buy Me a Coffee is right down there. Take care for now. Bye-bye. Now you can get full access to exclusive content, special reactions to shows, series, anime, full movies, and even request a video of your choice. Just become a YouTube member or join Buy Me a Coffee today. Find out more. The link is in the description.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game.